If you know exactly what you need to do, why haven't you done it yet? You've replayed it in your head 100 times. Start the report, send the email, go to the gym, and yet you're still here, scrolling, avoiding, frozen. It's not like you don't care. It's not like you're unaware. You're just stuck in a loop. You keep saying, I'll start in 5 minutes. But 5 minutes turn into 5 hours. And by the time night falls, the guilt is louder than your to-do list. The worst part? You know this isn't the first time, and deep down, you're scared it won't be the last. This video won't explain why your brain works like this. We're not going into theory, not today, because you don't need more understanding, you need a way to break the loop, right now. In the next few minutes, I'll give you a 5-step system to do exactly that. You don't need one magic trick, you need layers, simple steps that adapt to where you are, because sometimes you're just stuck for a moment. Other times, it's been weeks. The feeling of paralysis doesn't show up the same way every time, so your solution shouldn't either. That's why I built this system, not around force, but around rhythm. A rhythm you can follow when your body says no. A rhythm you can trust when motivation disappears. Each layer meets you at a different depth of stuckness, from 5 seconds to 5 minutes, to 5 intervals, to 5 hours, and even 5 weeks. Not because 5 is some universal law, but because 5 is small enough to begin and big enough to build a shift. And also, because 5 sounds like fight. You don't have to believe in the number, you just have to try the rhythm. Then you'll figure out your own. For now, trust this. Let's take the first step. Part 1. Micro-ignition. You're lying there, again. Eyes glazed over, phone glowing in your hand. You told yourself you'd start after this scroll, or the next one, but you're still here, stuck between intention and action. You're not confused. You know exactly what needs to be done, but for some reason, your body just won't follow. You start negotiating. I'll get up in 5 minutes. I'll just finish this video. I'm too tired. I'll be better tomorrow. But that tomorrow never comes. And deep down, you're not just frustrated, you're ashamed. Not because you're lazy, but because every second that passes is another vote for the version of you who gives in. And still, you don't move, because movement feels impossible when you've lost control of the first step. So here's the rule. Don't think, don't wait, don't negotiate, just count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move. Stand up. That's it. The 5-second rescue. You're not trying to finish anything. You're not even trying to be productive. You're just breaking the freeze, because this isn't about motivation. It's about physics. It's about inertia. Objects at rest stay at rest. Objects in motion stay in motion. That's Newton's first law of motion. Right now, your brain is stuck in an energy-saving mode. It resists transition, even from lying down to sitting up. But the moment you force any physical shift, you interrupt the pattern. You shake the system. Now, maybe you're thinking, is that really enough to change anything? And the answer is, not everything. But it's enough to start something. Because the only way out of paralysis is through motion. And that first motion is 5 seconds away. Part 2. Low bar momentum. You stood up. Your body moved finally. And for a second, it feels like victory. But then comes the fog. Now what? You're here, but you don't know where to start. The task still feels too big, too much, too soon. Your brain goes straight to the finish line. I have to write the whole report. I should do a full workout. I need to finish this entire routine tonight. And just like that, the pressure returns. What started as a tiny win becomes another overwhelming demand. This is the second trap, turning progress into pressure. Instead of riding the momentum, you try to leap 5 steps ahead and fall right back into the freeze. Here's the fix. Lower the bar, then lower it again. Don't commit to finishing, just commit to starting. And not forever, just 5 minutes. 5 minutes of writing, 5 minutes of stretching, 5 minutes of clearing your desk. It's not about output, it's about entry. It's the 5-minute deal. A small entry point that's too small to resist, but big enough to shift your brain from defense into forward motion. And 5 minutes is real enough. You don't owe the world a full comeback. You just owe yourself 5 honest minutes. And maybe now you're asking, so, what do I do after this? I stood up, I tried for 5 minutes, but I still don't feel like I've won anything. Let's be real. Who's ever changed their life with just 5 seconds and 5 minutes? And you're right to ask that. Those first steps? They're not the transformation, they're just the entry point. If you want to go further, you need a tempo that doesn't break you. Let's build that next. Part 3. Tempo control. 5 minutes in, you're finally moving. And then, almost immediately, your brain zooms out. You see everything, all the work, all the steps, and it feels impossible again. That's normal. It happens to everyone who starts. The moment momentum kicks in, your mind rushes to the top of the mountain, trying to finish it all at once. And that pressure kills the progress you just made. 5 minutes ago, you couldn't even pull yourself off the couch. Now you're overwhelmed again. This is where people lose the flow. They try to hold everything before they've had a chance to hold anything. The truth is, your energy is still scattered. Your attention still echoes whatever you were doing before. You're not fully in it yet. In the first 20 to 25 minutes, you're most vulnerable to distraction. You haven't landed. You haven't dropped into focus. That's why the next move matters. You need space, not pressure. You need rhythm, not urgency. Here's the shift. Work in 5 sets of 5 minutes. The 5x5 rhythm. 5 minutes on. Quick breath. Another 5. Repeat 5 times. It's not a hustle sprint. It's not a rigid Pomodoro. It's a rhythm you can trust. Each 5-minute block is small enough to start, and the set of 5 is long enough to feel real. This is where energy stops being chaotic and starts becoming consistent. You're not trying to finish. You're just trying to stay with yourself for 25 honest minutes in 5 pieces. I'm not trying to finish the whole thing, just one Pomodoro. So maybe now you're wondering again, what if I want to do more? What if I want to take back the rest of my day, not just 25 minutes? Let's talk about that, the 5-hour horizon. Part 4. Close horizon thinking. We've started small. We've built a bit of momentum. Now it's time to stay consistent with what matters. But you can't stay consistent if everything still feels like a mess. You need direction. You need a plan. This is the right moment for that plan. Most people plan too early, before they even start, and that just becomes another form of procrastination. That's why we didn't plan in the beginning. Now is the right time. When there's no clear time limit, your brain spirals. It tries to hold the whole day at once. It gets distracted, it slows down, and eventually it shuts down. You keep telling yourself, I have all day. And then somehow, you do nothing. So here's the rule. Think of the next 5 hours as your work zone. That's enough time to finish real work without overthinking, without spreading your energy thin. Most real working sessions, going to the gym, studying, writing, don't need more than 5 focused hours. If you keep moving, keep your tempo, you could be done in 5 hours. Plan only for what fits into this window. Break the work into Pomodoros if you want, or just list what needs to be done within that time. Keep it simple, but make it clear. And if 5 hours sounds too long, make it 3 or 2. The number doesn't matter. What matters is that the window is defined, and your mind knows, I'm inside the window now. This is what I'm here to do. Imagine this. 5 hours from now, it's done. The task that's been haunting you is finally off your plate. You're not behind anymore. You're not stuck. You're free to rest or even get ahead. You didn't do it by chasing motivation. You did it by showing up with a simple plan and staying in it long enough for things to move forward. That's why this 5-hour window matters. Not too short to feel rushed, not too long to feel overwhelmed, just enough to get real work done and feel the reward. Part 5. Anchored Aspiration. 5 days to 5 weeks. Thanks for staying with me this far. If you've made it to this part, I know you've started something, and 5 hours from now, you might just finish it with clarity and satisfaction. But let's be honest. Just because you finish today doesn't mean you're safe tomorrow. If you don't want to end up in the same spot tomorrow, scrolling on your bed, angry at yourself, stuck in that loop again, you need a longer game. You already know what's coming. 5 days, then 5 weeks. Don't worry if it sounds long. You can stop here, get back to your task, and come revisit this after 5 focused hours. But when you're ready, let's talk about how to make this who you are, not just something you did once. For the next 5 days, you have one job. Keep using the triggers. Respond to every kind of hesitation. 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 5x5 Pomodoros. Not perfectly, not endlessly, but repeatedly every time resistance shows up. Not just the big ones like sitting down to work, writing, or studying, but the little ones too. The delay before cleaning up, the pause before cooking. That moment you want to stop scrolling, all of them count, all of them matter. Every time you catch it, every time you notice that micro-resistance and you interrupt it with a 5-second countdown and move for just 5 minutes, you're training something deeper. You're practicing a new identity. And after 5 days of doing this, not just once, but across your whole life, you'll be shocked at how much energy comes back. During these 5 days, as you start acting again, as your energy begins to return through motion, there's one more thing I want you to do. Write down your vision and also your anti-vision. Not to sound fancy, not to be motivational, but to give your actions a direction. Maybe you're thinking, I didn't come here to write some vision statement. I just wanted help starting the things I've been avoiding. I just wanted a way to stop procrastinating. And that's fair. If that's you, then take the 5 days, practice, and come back later. But here's what I know. If you can become a person who acts, who moves through resistance, you will slowly change. And once you start changing, you'll realize that procrastination was never just about the task. It was about who you were becoming, or avoiding becoming. So write it down. Your vision, the person you want to grow into, and your anti-vision, the life you know you don't want, the burnout, the regret, the stuckness. Write it clearly, because when things get messy again, and they will, these two things will remind you where to go and what to never go back to. And if you want me to share how I personally wrote my own vision and anti-vision, the exact way I made it real, not vague, leave a comment below. I'll be there, and now you have what you need. 5 seconds, 5 minutes, 5 blocks, 5 hours, 5 days, 5 weeks. Thank you for staying with me until this point. I truly hope you'll find your way through the discomfort and come out stronger on the other side.